Ladies and gentlemen, to mobilize energy means to know exactly where am I focusing my attention, and therefore where attention goes there, the energy flows. Yes. So this is what focus means for me. If you want to create something, it's better to know where does your attention go. It's not that you are like walking this path and then you are like becoming superhuman or anything like this. It is very, very simple. You just become less compulsive and less reactive to whatever is going on in this world. Because this is where I felt like at some point, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be driven by what is going on out there in the world. I don't want to be driven by what is happening out there where I feel like I have no influence on. It can be the decision of the government. It can be the decision of whatever is being propagated in this world, which is ultimately affecting me. And I just didn't feel like I want to be dependent on external circumstances, because this doesn't feel like my life is in my hands. How can it be that people around me, circumstances around me that I literally have really no influence on? How can it be that all of this is influencing my life to such an extent that it makes me suffer, that it is frustrating me, that I feel depressed about it, that I feel angry about it, that I feel sad about it? I cannot manage myself in a better way. And this is where now all this so-called inner work starts to take place, where the self-mastery takes place. You are not trying to solve the issues of your government. You are not trying to solve the problems of your neighbor. The first thing you try to solve is everything that is able to trigger you to not be at ease with how this life is. What is the ultimate outcome of starting to invest some time in yourself? I would say you are getting more at ease regardless of what is happening on the outside. It doesn't mean you are becoming more ignorant to it. That is also a misconception. It is just the fact that the world around you, everything is like still in turmoil and everything is still burnt. But because you are at ease, because you have become more stable, at least in this burning surrounding, you can now still be the guy to help the people out of the house. Because if you lose your temper and if you are getting stressed when the house is burning, who's going to guide the way? And this is how I felt my life was also slowly developing, in the sense that if I really feel like I would like to contribute something to this world, to this society, then it can only be done if I'm already at ease and with peace inside of myself, that then I can carry out in the world. Try to just be a good human. Be a good human. Or if you like to play this visual game, we look into the world and there's so many things to complain about. There's so much to complain. What goes wrong? And how should somebody behave? And how should humanity be? What would be your ideal representation on a human being on this earth? If you had the chance to create that human, how would that be? And then slowly you really start to do your own research and start to understand which is the most harmonious way to create what you feel like can be created. So, and if this is the type of foundation where you start to feel that in a way we are all connected, when you don't view yourself as an individual who is fighting against the rest of the 8 billion people, in the moment this happens, when the connection is being established, decisions will be different. The way of how you think will be different, and ultimately, hopefully translating into some positive impact for the next generation. The next one. The only reason to change anything about our life would be if that change that we are looking for is resulting in the fact that we're going to feel better. We usually wouldn't go for any type of change knowing it's going to make us feel worse than where we are right now. So the whole idea is changing for the better. So now the question, where you are finding yourself right now, you say you want to change to the better. It expresses to me you need to become light, you need to become free. And you need to liberate from the things that are holding you down. So first question right now is, what is it that is weighing down on you? And if it is what happened to you in the past, well, you need to solve it. Whether you take responsibility for it or not, the fact is there is something it's still weighing down on you and it needs to be solved. And this is the way why sometimes we say, in order to become light, sometimes we need to look very, very deep where it looks dark, where the light hasn't been placed upon yet inside of yourself. And going even deeper, there is even something where you yourself maybe don't even want to go there anymore, because you know It's going to crash the own view that you have upon yourself until now. But this is the only way in order to make everything that is dark and heavy inside of you to start becoming light. You need to shine the light where it hasn't been before. Can you do this without staying humble? You can't. If you think you're the best already, you won't do this. You are still nourishing the illusion. Yeah, and you are pretending and not wanting to actually look into what is it you really went through this. Only when you start to see the whole complex and everything, the light and the dark, the heavy, when you see all everything that brought you here. Now with that roadmap, you see where you come from. You see what is it that has shaped you. You can see how that all of these circumstances, situations, what was the consequence you still carry until the way of how you take decisions nowadays. Why are there certain words? Why are there certain topics that when somebody starts even mention that word, something inside of you starts to pop up? All of this is there are processes which are still running our life, whether they are unconscious or somewhere happening in the subconscious. But there are patterns, there are cycles, there are repetitive things that keep popping up in your life. And it's the question if you at some point to break out of the cycle. And this can only be done in the moment where you start to learn and understand what is it to live a life more aware and more based on being conscious about what you do and removing everything from these unconscious layers. Yes, and it's a journey. The understanding will change throughout your journey, really depending on how profound is your view upon your life and the life around you. How profound are you living this type of life? And so it really means it changes from person to person. I can't tell to somebody this is what it means for you. It's up to you to put in your thoughts. What does it mean to you? What is true is that everybody has always been given the possibilities to change something. The other truth is at some point when you're oblivious about things and you just really don't want to see, you can't see it, then the signs sometimes become bigger. And then at some point, it could even happen that something is going to occur which will make you change. If you want or not, it is going to make you change. You will have no choice anymore. You had the choices before, but you didn't use them. And this is why sometimes I talk about this ability to really listen a little bit carefully. Sometimes it is like this. We take the most recent example. Like before burnout happens, your body told you way before that something is not okay. So you ended up where you are unhappy right now, but you say you didn't do it, so who you want to blame right now? And what does it ultimately mean? It means that the last 40 years who was running your life, then you don't need to travel the world and look for somebody above there and worship them. You should in a way bring out your own best version or the master. You're doing similar things that at some point maybe a robot could do. The whole life, the whole daily structure starts to follow patterns. There is no freedom anymore. It is a pattern you are being driven. You are a part of a wheel, part of a system. It just is a small one. But there's no chance for you to sometimes just get out and do something beyond that. So the longer you feel trapped inside the system and just are functioning, you're just functioning, you're living a functional life. But when you're out there walking in the garden or walking in the forest, there is nothing that the forest and the nature needs from you. You don't need to function when you walk through the forest. The only thing you need to do is realize that's what it is. Welcome to existence. There is nothing to add to this. There is nothing to change about this. It is just about the realization that is it, and the less of these type of moments you have in your life, and the more you're like functioning, I would say these are the indications you're being driven well. Without it, we for sure wouldn't be here. But my definition, or right now the understanding of the nature was really on a vast scale. You might change your job. One day you might change the location where you're living. The surrounding is going to change. The people that you're dealing with is going to change. But there's always one thing that always remains the same, which is you always carry yourself along the way. So you can't escape yourself. You can't escape your dark sides. You can't escape your pain and your suffering and everything that in a way is triggering you also. And this is where I feel like to have this, let's say, concept at the moment to really invest time in bringing out, understanding yourself better, and then build yourself up in all layers that nowadays we can dive into. How do you build up energy? It is by giving your mind something where you need to have willpower to maintain it. Willpower and development of energy go hand in hand with each other. the will to live, the will to keep going, the will, strong will, iron will energy is also very high. And so literally some of these positions are so demanding on the body that in order to maintain this position, you have to have will. You need to create something about yourself where you are pushing yourself. Progress meaning setting goals, achieving something, doing something. The quickest way to not waste lifetime is when you really set up a schedule and just do the work, free from how you feel. Because also feeling sometimes you wake up one day, you feel this way, you wake up the next day, you feel another way. And it's just not helpful to base your structure or your goal on how you feel. Discipline meaning you stick to what you put there on paper. You take your time, you make the plan, and unless you really are sick or have some type of higher excuse, you just do what you have committed to. And this struggling of there are still so many distractions every day coming up. No, but you stick to the plan. You stick to your plan. This is what I feel like is a part of discipline, to do what you have committed yourself to, is the one area. And at the same time, discipline also means you don't do the things you already know are not good for you. It's outsourced to your partner. So with a partner you have it, without a partner it's gone. So that again, it means something outsourced. And so therefore, it's nice to be able to have this type of relationship, but it would be even better if you find the answer to that state of being by yourself completely, and then whoever accompanies you. It doesn't matter. I like that. How much real energy, real effort, real discipline have you put into your daily life in order to get to those 100 push-ups? And this is the whole idea about what is it? Skill. You don't get skill as a present in this lifetime. You might get a talent. Then it just widens my horizon. That's what it does. And at the end, I see the situation from this angle, from that angle, from that one, from that one, from that one, from that one. So that means I see many perspectives. Me, I don't have it either. I don't have the guarantee. I don't know every morning if I wake up, death is not coming later, life and death simultaneously at the same time. So using this type of perspective, success and failure, there is no successful person I know in this world who does not at the same time. Going to school, going to university, having your first job, building up your own company, doesn't matter what it is. This is that interesting part, what all of this Shaolin practice is, what it is about. If you think you just say, okay, then I'm leaving this company and I'm moving to the next one, you're going to meet the same problem. Why? Because it's not the problem of the people. It's the problem because something inside of you is not able yet to solve this challenge. What I do with my body, what I do with my shape, how I take care of the matter that I have in my lifetime to take care of this matters 100%. But it is only as the bridge to the mind. Very important. I make it simple. Just make a small change in the structure of your day and put physical training inside it. That single decision will ripple out into every other part of your life. Slowly, you will notice your confidence growing, your mind becoming calmer, your energy flowing in a new direction.